Hello and welcome to this little witch hut farm tutorial. How you doing? As you can see behind me, I've managed to collect one or two witches, and you might also notice that I'm in the nether. So this farm does send witches from the overworld into the nether, so we can collect up a large number of them ready to be killed with a looting sword or whatever. Look at all those warts. Yeah. But yeah, I'll head back over to the overworld and we'll get this tutorial started. And so a witch hut is a structure, and if you don't know what that is, it's a generated structure building in Minecraft, and it's the same as an ocean monument or a nether fortress, you know, things like that. And in Bedrock, these structures have a kind of unique feature, and that's that they all have what we've called structure spawns. And you've probably seen the ocean monument farms with the 25 spawn spots and the 25 nether portals. That's because it takes advantage of these structure spawns, and just like those and the nether fortress, as I said, witch huts also have a structure spawn as well. Now the only drawback is, because the witch huts are so small, they only have one single valid spawning spot, and because of this, people have sort of dismissed the witch hut farms, and people seem to go for the villager conversion techniques now, which is okay. It's cool, you know, it's cool to see them all transform and everything, but it's not really as efficient as a witch hut. Also, I believe anyway, I tend to think that an actual witch hut farm is far more efficient. It takes literally minutes to set up and build the farm, and then once it's up and running, it's just constant. There's no breeding of villagers, there's no waiting for those villagers to grow up, and then there's no waiting for a thunderstorm. And especially if you're on a server or a realm with lots of players, you could be waiting around for ages for a thunderstorm, and then as soon as one comes, somebody will go and sleep and you've missed your opportunity. But with something like this is just a constant flow of drops. And from my testing, the very basic farm, which I'll show you first, that produces around 1200 items an hour, and then we can step it up a bit later, and the top end farm design can actually produce around 1500. But as I said, it's just constant. As long as it's being ticked, then you're earning yourself free drops, and you know, you don't, like I said, no breeding, no waiting to grow up, and no waiting for the thunderstorms. And this design actually takes advantage of surface spawning. The witches that spawn inside the hut would be classed as surface spawns. So as long as you take care of the surface pretty well, then you don't have to worry too much about underground. Obviously it'll help if you can clear as much out as you can, but it's not a big issue. My survival farm, I've done next to no cave lighting, and it's still pumping out witches like there's no tomorrow. So, you know, don't be scared to take on a witch farm, because they are incredibly simple and very efficient. Okay, so I'm in a fresh version of the world. As you can see, I've got the chunk visualizer on just to help illustrate a couple of things later on. But this is actually a really cool scene. There's a strange looking village over there. But anyway, if we come on around, you can see I've already been doing a few tests just to get the spawn locations of the witches. It's not really necessary. If we come on in, we'll have a look. You can see a witch is spawned there, and if we take a closer look, you can see that the floor is a 3x3 area, and the witch is spawned right in the center of that. And from my experiment and testing, that's always the case for every witch hut that I've encountered. So you can quite easily figure out where the spawn spot is. And if we come on up, I've marked out the perimeter that you need to spawn proof. We come on up a bit, and this is why I put the visualizer on. You can see it a lot clearer. And if we come on up a little bit more, so I've turned off the hood and everything as well, so we can see a bit clearer. But you can see all the way around the edge I've laid fences, and that marks the edge of the density check area. So you can see the witch hut is right in the centre, and when a spawn attempt is made, the game will check a 9x9 chunk area around that spawn location, and then if it fails, it fails, and if not, it can spawn. So this is the area that you need to light up or slab or whatever, and it might look a bit daunting at first, but it's really not as bad as you think, because the witch hut is contained in one chunk. You only have to contend with one density check area, whereas say an ocean monument or another fortress, you'd have to secure a much larger area to make it mob proof. But anyway, if we come back inside the witch hut, as I showed you before, this is the spawn spot for the witches, and what we need to do to start making a platform for them to spawn on is to isolate the northwest corner, which in my case I haven't got the coordinates on, but I know from all my testing that it's this corner here. So what you want to do is identify the 3 blocks that intersect this corner, so there, there and there, and that'll be your spawning platform when you create the farm. Okay, and this is the very basic design. It's simply a drop chute, so it just insta kills the witches, and there they go. Now the drop height there is a little bit more than you actually need. I tend to do a drop of about 34 blocks, because witches do have slightly more health than other mobs. So 34 blocks, and you know that'll insta kill them, guaranteed. And this is the second design. As you can see from that black band there, we're using nether portals. We just send the witches straight to the nether, and there they'll collect, because you can't really collect a lot of mobs in Bedrock Edition. It's because of the density checks and the mob caps and stuff. You're restricted to about 8 mobs, which isn't the greatest for when you want to get a large collection of mobs. So with this, I just send them all to the nether for later, which does mean technically this could be a 2-player AFK, but you just hang around here for a bit and then jump through the portal yourself. It's no issue, and you can AFK here for a lot longer than you can at a Guardian farm without any issues. If we come on up, you'll see I put a little indicator light. There you go. Every time a witch spawns, that light will go off. So we just hang around a bit, we should see another light. There you go. And again. So that's working nicely. I'll show you the other end. And here's the killing chamber. This is after a few minutes AFK. You can see we got 1 or 2 witches in there. It's all good, and then you obviously use a looting sword and then you get more drops. And from the last few tests I can actually show you some of the rates. So those are the sort of drops we're looking at, as well as almost 3 chests worth of potions as well. And again, this is an hourly rate, so as soon as you've finished with these witches, you can go back and AFK a little bit more and get some more, no problem. Okay, so I'm in a void world again, just for the sake of the tutorial. It's simpler that way. So if you come on in, you start off with the 4 blocks that we've identified. If you remember, the witch should always spawn on that centre block there. And then you want the 3 blocks that's around the northwest corner, and that's your spawning platform. So you can go ahead and just knock out every other block and just leave just leave that pad. Okay, so we've got the spawning pad now. The items you need for this farm, it's relatively cheap. You don't really need too many things. So you need some building blocks and some slabs for the roof, 4 sticky pistons, 4 tripwire hooks, 4 pieces of string, 2 redstone torches, a little bit of redstone dust. You don't need the lever, get rid of that. And optionally, you can use a redstone lamp. I just like to stick it on the roof, just so what it'll do is just indicate when a witch spawns. You'll see the redstone lamp flash. It's just a good indicator when you're far away. So we'll get started then. So the first thing you need to do is place your sticky pistons, and they will be 2 blocks out on either side, like so. So you've got a gap in between them. And it's the same for the other side as well, like that. And next you take your building blocks and you want to build across the gap and then step up once more as well. You can get rid of those are temporary. And you see it makes like a staircase going up. Do the same on the other side. Like so. And then you should have like a V shape. Next you want to take your tripwire hooks and place them on the top blocks there, like so. And then you can attach the string. One there. And this side as well, like so. Next you want to take some redstone dust and just place it across the top of the blocks where you place the tripwire hooks into, just like that. Same the other side. And then place 1 torch down, and the same there. It doesn't matter which side, just pick a side and do that. And then you want to place blocks in the back of the pistons like so, and place some dust. And you see that'll extend the pistons, and that'll be their default state. So I'll do this side and then we'll carry on. Like so. And then you'll see that when we go through the string, the floor opens up beneath us, like so. And then that's pretty much your farm done. Just all you need to do now is just box everything in, make it nice and dark. And the other side as well. And we'll come around there. And then if you do want the indicator lamp, you just place it down next to the redstone dust there. And that's it, just slab everywhere you can, and then this farm will be ready to go. So if we drop down, we should start to see some spawns. Come on, there you go. And that's it, that's the farm build finished. So all you need now is the drop chute, and you place the landing platform about 34 blocks below the bottom of that floor, and that'll just work, give you all those lovely witch drops. There you go, look at all those. So this farm is already quite efficient as it is. You get around 1200 drops per hour with this, but say you wanted to collect a group of witches and then go mad with a looting sword, and what you'd probably want to do is send them to the Nether. So I'll show you how to set that up as well. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is build the portal, and I like to build it across the back edge of the pistons. You go like that, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously you can miss out the corners if you want to. So there's the portal, and then you just box everything in. So cover the back up first. And then just go ahead and just light it up a little bit, just to make sure that no mobs spawn in this area, which they shouldn't really do, but you know, just light it up, it doesn't hurt anything. And then just light the portal and put a water source in the opposite corner, and that's it. The witches will drop through that chute and get washed into the portal, and then just go ahead and close it back up, and that's it. So on the nether side, all you need to do is block off the back of the portal, and then on the front of the portal you place buttons or trapdoors or something. Buttons are better because mobs can get stuck on trapdoors, but you just place some buttons and that'll entice them to walk off. And you don't really need to drop them that far, but because they heal up anyway, but you just make a little killing chamber. It's a standard thing. I don't really think I need to do a step-by-step walkthrough with this. And it's just hoppers and slabs. And then we can get the nice looting sword, or you can use, I like to use potions of poison, but you just hack away at them and get all their lovely drops. So with that, I think that's the end of the episode. I'm just enjoying looking at all these witches. We've got like rings of witches. It's great. Nice old cackle. Is that the collective name for them? Cackle? Probably is. But anyway, I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I hope that it sort of inspired you to maybe think about making a witch hut farm in your world or on your realm or server or whatever, because they really are great. But anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.